TQ Crafty here. I'm going to do a process video for you. I wanted to show you this in July, but since it was from my Chinese Whispers for that challenge or thing that I was doing, I couldn't. So, but this is all stuff pretty much that I got from my Creative Cuts kit from Christina at Redefine Creative. And so she showed us this awesome tutorial on how to make water with basically paper towels and this lovely distressed ink, or you could do other things with it. She has a great video for that she showed us, but if you ever want to try it, let me know and I'll hopefully explain as much as I can. But you could use this with any kind of ink and for all different kinds of things, like making weathered books, weathered looking anything, texture, you name it. And it's fun to have a textured paper towel like this, because this almost looks like seashells is kind of how she did it. But so stick around and watch what happens, I guess.
Alright, so I am taking that beautiful distressed mist and just soaking the paper towel basically. So you soak it. You can do like variants and do darker in some areas, farther away, closer, that type of thing, so you get variation in color, and you can do multiple colors. But you just soak it, and then I'm using a leftover piece of my box to do this, but you could do regular cardstock, paper, whatever piece you want to put the texture on. So you can use hot glue or you can use no glue. So basically, I decided to make my texture water be my title. So I put the hot glue down, and now I'm taking my completely dry paper towel, and you can use glue, or I used Mod Podge. You put a ton down first, and then you kind of squish this dry paper towel around to get the texture. Or if you didn't put any glue, you could do hot glue in any design, anything, like just swirls, just swiggles, just blobs here and there, whatever you wanted, however you want your texture to look, or like I did in words. So you're going to, or you do none, and you just kind of squish the paper towel on it and just get like a squished look. So it's kind of like just a texture. It's just a way to put texture on. So you put a bunch of glue or Mod Podge down first, and then squish your paper towel on, and then do another layer on top, and then you gotta let it dry. So there's definitely steps involving drying with this, but it turns out pretty cool. I'm not sure how I did it, if it was the best way to do it. I should have maybe cut out the letters individually. You'll see. Like, I like it. It turned out good, and it definitely turned out watery. I wish I would have had another ink or color to add to mine, because it didn't quite match the blues that I have in my papers and everything, but that I used for this layout, but it worked out. So I had a bunch of pictures, of this day that we had our pool set up when my kid was pretty little, and my mother-in-law came over, and she has very pale skin and is very sensitive to the sun, so she was standing in the pool to cool off, but had an umbrella. It was just so cute, and he loved it. He loves his grandma, loves having her around. So I have a bunch of pictures, but I figured for this, because it was part of the Chinese Whispers that I was doing this, she only had 2 pictures on the layout, which I will put right here. This is what I was going off of. So I figured I'd narrow down to 2, and then I actually did a second page of just a collage of the other pictures, so they'll go together in the album. But I picked those 2 pictures. I got these paper straws in my kit. This was kind of a layout that I was like, I want to use all the things, so whatever I had left, I wanted to use up. So I went through my stash and found this striped paper. The blues match my picture and the other papers in the Happy Days collection that I was using. By my mind's eye, they matched perfectly, and there was also that coral. Didn't quite match the blue that was my color of my mist. My mist was a little bit darker. So that's where the blue kind of comes variant, and there's not green at all in this striped paper, but I do bring some green in because there's green in my pictures with our super green grass. So yeah, I do bring some green elements in too, because I wanted to use up also those layered chipboard, cardstock, sticker elements you've seen on a couple other layouts that I've done that are beach themed. So Clearly this is not on a beach, but it's pool. It's the closest thing we have to it. So I figured beach, fun, water, seashells. He has like a little dory, kickboard, a beach ball, lots of fun things like that. I was sitting around just relaxing, having a drink. We were just enjoying the summer weather. And this was actually June of that year. It was crazy. This year, the last few years, June has not been that warm, and this was warm enough to have the pool out. So that was fun. So just kind of matting my photos on this random SEI gray paper I had a scrap of, because there is a gray stripe in that stripe paper, so I figured I'd bring that in a little bit, put a little neutral in there, and it goes well. This layout does turn out kind of chaotic, I feel like, but in a way cohesive. Like all the colors are kind of in the same families, they go well together, they look well together, but they're not all on that striped paper. So that was kind of a bummer that I didn't quite have something that had everything on it, but it works out. So just coming with my layers, so I kind of have the layers to match the layout that I had to scrap lift essentially. And yeah, using some scraps, some pieces I had. So if you can hear my cat, she's really wanting to be cuddly right now while I'm trying to do this. Distressing, I distressed the edges of my photo and then distressing the edges of this layer, and I didn't do any of the other ones, so it's kind of like a mishmash of some distress, some not. And that top one ends up being crooked. Because I made it. Never fails. Well, I tried to do my layers so I could keep them straight and not get them screwed up and have them as deep as I wanted to, and just don't know. So I end up killing the sticker sheet that came in this like little mini kit I got, except for the sticker of the chicken. So the chicken's on the back of that paper. There's one chicken. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that. I might have a photo of my son. Not that it has to literally be chickens, but I just figured on this page I did all these seashells and things like that, so I didn't want to randomly throw a chicken. We got this beautiful washi from Christina in our Creative Cuts kit, and I wanted to use it. I hadn't used it yet, and the other layout that I had started that I'm almost done with, it just wouldn't go, and I figured this one has a lot of white, it'll work, it's got a lot of the colors, and I needed a banner to go down the center. So I figured, why not create a washi banner? So I just kind of took the back of that gray paper as something sturdy for it to go on and something solid. And mounted it on there, and then a piece on the bottom, and then cut the banner. And a bunch of it gets covered up so it doesn't look so obnoxious, but it's a nice pop. And then the tiny little bit left I had, you can see over there on the right, I actually fussy cut out 4 shells, and I put 2 in the lower right, and I'll put 2 in the upper left corner of my photos. Not backed on anything, so they kind of just blend in and kind of create some clusters. And then I kind of put those straws on the top and the bottom of my photos, kind of as like to look like another layer, like another textured layer. Went and made lunch, let those dry. Alright, now I'm going to try and figure out, this doily was literally just on my packaging, but I loved it, and I thought it would be a good addition to like add part of the clusters to where they need to be in this layout. And so right now I'm just kind of cutting out my type. It's not quite dry, you can see it's still pink on some spots where the Mod Podge is still wet, but I'm going to start cutting out anyway, getting as close to it as possible. I just wanted to kind of cut out the shape of the words for the title, and it's going to be so cool in the pool. We got that pretty flare which says beach fun, despite this not being a beach. I thought it was perfect that I happened to get that Happy Days collection as a prize for a drawing from the scribe room, and then we got this Creative Cuts club, and like the colors just all went together. It was so fun that I happened to get a collection that had all the similar colors in it. So just creating my little clusters, and I'm sorry, I realized like it's been shifted down this whole time, and then it was a different time of day when I came, after I let everything dry and I came back to film this kind of second part, so now I've got shadows lurking in. I didn't realize that until I was now doing like the editing and voiceover, so the bottom of the page is cut off. But I will have close-ups and you get to see it at the end. But I did add the banner of that stripe paper that's in the background had strawberries on it, and I had one cute little strawberry that was also in my packaging with that lace doily. Like Christina wrote us all little notes, and she wrote it on like a ticket, and it was stapled to that doily, a card which we did a challenge with, and then there was also just cute strawberry sticker, and I was like, well, pink, strawberry, summer, whatever. So, and there happened to be strawberries in that branding strip. So I tucked that branding strip at the bottom, which you can't see right now, just under that last layer, kind of behind the banner. And then there's that little strawberry sticker. Stick that up so that way I have strawberry. And then that beach time is green, and then I have a word phrase, a word sticker that was on that'll have that happy days right there. So another pop of green, kind of to bring the green and the green grass. And I don't think it looks too out of place. I think it looks good. They're all, like I said, the same like tones and hues. So all the colors really go well. They're not different. Like they're not neons and pastels, or they're all kind of that medium bright pastel type color. So just adding the so and in the to my cool and pool. And then the last thing you do, which I should have technically done this before I put cool and pool on my layout, is you either take white paint or some other something else to rub on those raised areas or your texture, just to make them pop a little more. So I just took I'm going to take a little bit of white acrylic paint and use my finger and just kind of outline the letters in my layout, and then they kind of stand out a little more. And that gives it a little more depth and shows you the texture that's there. So it's really fun. Christina had made like water. She basically did a lot of texture and then brushed it with that white paint, and I tried to use the makeup thing and it just didn't work. It worked better just to use your hand. See, that makes it pop a little bit more. I think it turned out neat. I wish I kind of would have done like the letters individually, maybe. I'm not sure. I just wanted to try the technique. I did only use one of the paper towels, so I could do it. I could do the technique again on another layout. So, and I'm sure I have plenty more water layouts. Oh, I could even do it on that other page, because right now when I'm doing this voiceover, I just have it laid out. I haven't glued anything down yet. I could add that water element. Maybe I will do that. But yeah, so now I'm just adding some faux stitching with some black to kind of tie in the black of the so and that's in the title, and that is it. You'll be able to see, adding that. I didn't like how you could see the harsh edge of that doily, so I decided to add the last sticker of the sticker sheet, which is a drink. So here are the close-ups. Thanks for watching, and after this I will post a video of all the different layouts and how they changed. I think especially mine, I don't know if I'll have all of them, but I will try to do all of them. But here are the close-ups of my layout. Enjoy, and thanks for watching. Bye.